Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. The analog tones of Roland SH-101 have been a staple in electronic music production since the 80s. However, those who didn't buy the dip in the 90s will have to make do with oversized fridge magnets, Uli's homage to
plastic,
blasphemous plugins, or in this case, Döner's brand new L1, which has no reason to be that expensive while feeling so cheap. At the first glance, no, almost better. An analog mono-synth mothership equipped with a dedicated fingerprint magnet,
allegedly
based on authentic components, can be connected to a tailor-made mini keyboard wire magnet and offers familiar-looking UI elements and a few features not found on the 1982 SH. But more of that later. While most of the waveforms sound adequately close to the original, the new triangle is more than welcome. But the noise generator seems a little off. It is also much softer than the other shapes. But PWM seems spot on. I have no complaints about the filter, with its precisely playable self-oscillating resonance. In contrast to other 101 type synths, L1 comes with a second envelope. It is hardwired to amplitude, but you can switch the synth to the organ-like gate setting, create endless noise poems in drone modes, or trigger it from the LFO. Cool. Speaking of which, the LFO can be tempo synced and cranked to tonal territory, ideal for basic analog FM. The simplicity of the SH-101 sequencer is a thing of beauty, so it's no surprise that Döner stuck to this non-real-time step recorder paradigm with pattern lengths of up to 64 steps and a clunky new editing mode. This is also where the little screen comes into play, which lets you manage 128 sequencers you can arrange into 32 songs. The menu system also hosts the usual housekeeping stuff and additional envelope settings. Unfortunately, this modern touch might also be a deal breaker to many. Depending on what is displayed on the screen, there is digital bleed clearly audible on the outputs. Signal-to-noise ratio is somewhat usable, but it can be an issue with softer sounds. Moreover, implementation of the detachable keyboard is still raw, with a mod strip having no effect on the L1. You can use it with other synths though. Connectivity is a mixed bag. The external input is much appreciated, but there is no CV and gate input, and 5-pin Midi is dearly missed. As we are talking about Midi, it takes a while for transmitted clock signals to stabilize, but L1 follows external MIDI clock nicely. The Arpeggiator is great, but weird things tend to happen when using external MIDI sources. You cannot power the synth via USB, the app needed for firmware updates is very janky, no, you can't save patches, the sliders are wobbly, and given the overall plasticiness of the instrument, €450 for the entire set is quite a chunk of money, unless you or play around with location settings. It's not that bad in the US though. Thanks to Tom of Synth Anatomy for lending me this L1. There is no shortage of affordable analog mono synths, and Döner's SH-101 clone comes with a few interesting new features and a list of strange flaws. Is it worth the extra money? You have already heard L1 in today's intro tune. Raw and beefy with a distinct analog flavor. Nice! I wanna know how it fares in the traditional monosynth disciplines, bass, lead and sci-fi fart noises. Pleasantly surprised. Screen noise isn't an issue when you crank the oscillators, and I like the triangle waveform. Let's see if the L1 sequencer workflow is any good and add a few more specialized FX pedals. Not a big fan of that. Yes, the typical Roland tone is still there, but sequencer management and Midi implementation seem to be hastily put together, and my muscle memory was yearning for basic mod wheel functionality. SH101 enjoyers know that the original is a great percussion sound generator. Time to use the L1 for all sounds, including drums, of this completely solo-free slab of bassline cheese served on an abstract techno beat cracker with plenty of processed analog garnish. The concept of Döner's L1 seems to be too ambitious for its own good. While the analog synth engine sounds really nice, the digital side of the instrument is unfinished at best, or, especially given the noise issues caused by the screen, inherently flawed. What is more, the subpar detachable keyboard, plastic feel, design language and pricing strategy do not exactly spark joy and make Roland's admittedly digital 101 successors or other analog monosynths like Monologue, Bass Station 2 and of course Uli's Fake Synth Museum look much more attractive. We all know that Roland only chases digital ghosts now, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Döner managed to release an analog Jupiter 8 reissue before Behringer does. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and use one of the links down below that support the channel regardless of what your gas commands you to buy.